The evening sky over New York City had darkened ominously, casting a heavy shadow over the iconic Central Park. A cold front had swept in unexpectedly, transforming the bustling winter wonderland into a battleground against nature. Snowflakes the size of quarters spiraled down in chaotic fury, blanketing the pathways and muffling the usual city sounds. Keanu Reeves, clad in a thick black coat and sturdy boots, had been enjoying a rare moment of solitude. His New York visit was meant to be a brief escape from the relentless grind of Hollywood, a chance to reconnect with the simple pleasures of anonymity. He had always loved the park's quiet charm, even in the dead of winter. But the storm had other plans. As the wind howled through the skeletal trees, Keanu pulled his scarf tighter around his face. Visibility had dropped to mere feet, and the once familiar pathways now appeared alien under layers of fresh snow. Still, he trudged forward, determined to make his way back to the park's edge. A faint sound caught his attention, a distant voice carried on the icy wind. Keanu paused, straining to hear over the storm's roar. There it was again, faint but unmistakable, a cry for help. Instinct took over. Without hesitation, he veered off the main path, pushing through knee-deep drifts of snow. The voice grew louder, tinged with desperation. Keanu's heart raced as he scanned the white expanse. Finally, he spotted a figure huddled near a bench, partially obscured by a mound of snow. A young woman, shivering violently, clutched her phone in one hand, the screen flickering weakly. Her coat was woefully inadequate for the harsh conditions, and her lips had turned a worrying shade of blue. "Hey," Keanu called out, his voice steady despite the adrenaline surging through him. "Are you okay?" The woman looked up, her eyes wide with a mix of relief and disbelief. I got lost," she stammered through chattering teeth. "My phone's dead, and I can't feel my hands." Keanu knelt beside her, assessing the situation. Hypothermia was a real danger in weather like this. "We need to get you out of here," he said firmly. "Can you stand?" She nodded weakly, but when she tried to rise, her legs gave out. Without a second thought, Keanu scooped her up in his arms, cradling her against his chest. The bitter wind lashed at them, but he moved with determination, retracing his steps toward the nearest shelter. The storm showed no mercy, but neither did Keanu's resolve. Each step was a battle, the weight of the woman adding to the challenge. Still, he pressed on, driven by an unyielding sense of responsibility. As they neared the park's edge, the glow of streetlights pierced through the swirling snow. Salvation was within reach. "You're going to be okay," Keanu assured her, his voice calm and reassuring. "Just hang in there." The woman clung to him, her gratitude palpable despite the cold. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Keanu's lips curved into a faint smile. "No need to thank me," he said softly. "We all need a little help sometimes." But the night was far from over. Unknown to Keanu, the storm was only the beginning of an unexpected adventure, one that would test his courage and compassion in ways he never imagined. Part 2. An unexpected shelter. With the relentless blizzard howling around them, Keanu carried the woman toward the faint glow of a small coffee shop nestled at the park's edge. The usually bustling spot was eerily quiet, its windows fogged up from the warmth inside. Keanu pushed open the door with his shoulder, the bell jingling faintly as they entered. The sudden warmth was a welcome relief, though the woman in his arms remained shivering. A concerned barista hurried over, her eyes widening at the sight of them. "Oh my God, are you both okay? She needs warmth and something hot to drink," Keanu said urgently as he gently set the woman down in a booth near the radiator. The barista nodded, hurrying to prepare 2 steaming mugs of cocoa. Keanu removed his coat and wrapped it around the woman, who was beginning to regain some color in her cheeks. "You're safe now," he assured her. "What's your name?" "Lena," she managed to say, her voice still trembling. "I didn't think anyone would find me." Keanu's gaze was steady. "You got lucky. And so did I. I heard you just in time." As the cocoa arrived, Lena sipped it gratefully, the warmth spreading through her body. Keanu took a seat across from her, his own drink untouched. You're Keanu Reeves, she said suddenly, realization dawning despite her fatigue. He offered a modest smile, guilty as charged. Lena shook her head in disbelief. I can't believe this. You just saved my life. Keanu's expression softened. I'm just glad I was there. The storm raged on outside, but inside the cozy shop, a sense of calm began to settle. Other stranded patrons exchanged stories and laughter, finding solace in shared humanity. But for Keanu and Lena, the night had taken on a deeper meaning, one that neither of them could fully grasp just yet. As they sat there, thawing out from the storm's icy grip, a bond was forming, forged by fate and compassion. Yet, unknown to them, the storm held more surprises, and their night was far from over. Part 3. A bond forged by fate. The storm's ferocity showed no signs of relenting. Keanu glanced at the swirling snow through the frosted window. Lena, though warmed by the cocoa and radiator, still looked fragile. Determined to ensure her safety, Keanu made a decision. Lena, do you have anyone you can call? He asked gently. She shook her head. I was visiting the city alone, and my phone's dead. Keanu's expression grew thoughtful. All right, I think it's best if I get you to a safe place myself. The barista, overhearing their conversation, offered a suggestion. There's an inn just a few blocks from here. They usually have rooms available, even during storms. Keanu nodded gratefully. Thanks, we'll head there. He helped Lena to her feet, steadying her as they prepared to face the blizzard once more. The patrons and staff watched them with admiration, murmuring their awe at Keanu's unexpected act of kindness. As they stepped back into the storm, Keanu kept a protective arm around Lena. The journey was treacherous, but his determination never wavered. Snow clung to their clothes, and the wind cut through even the thickest layers. Finally, the inn's warm lights came into view, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. They trudged up the steps, their breath visible in the frigid air. Keanu pushed open the door, and the cozy interior welcomed them like an old friend. The receptionist's eyes widened at the sight of the snow-covered pair. Welcome. Rough night, huh? You could say that, Keanu replied with a wry smile. Do you have a room for Lena here? Of course, the receptionist said kindly. We'll take good care of her. Lena looked up at Keanu, her eyes glistening with gratitude. Thank you, Keanu. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't found me. He smiled warmly. Just take care of yourself, all right? And maybe invest in a better winter coat. She laughed softly, the sound filled with warmth despite the night's ordeal. Good advice. As Keanu turned to leave, Lena called out, Wait, will I ever see you again? He paused, his expression thoughtful. The world has a funny way of bringing people back together. Stay safe, Lena. With that, he stepped back into the night, the storm beginning to subside. The city, resilient as ever, would recover from the blizzard. And Lena would carry the memory of a night when a Hollywood star became her unexpected guardian angel. As Keanu disappeared into the wintry streets, one thing was certain. His kindness, humility, and bravery had left an indelible mark, not just on Lena but on everyone who witnessed his actions that night.